Hello, and welcome to my reflective movement vlog focusing on the creation of a stylized character and the physical relationships that is formed between an actor, the audience, and other actors that are present on the stage. The text we used for our performance was Raymondo, written by Annie Siddons. This performance had a key focus on ensemble movement and chorus to create a magical realist world and larger-than-life, exaggerated characters. A large part of this project in relation to movement is the ensemble group, always present on the stage. However, I was not a part of this group, and instead performed the role of one of the two lead characters in the play, Sparky, without ever becoming a member of the ensemble. One of the first movement techniques we practiced in rehearsals was the use of physical viewpoints, footage of which has already been playing throughout the vlog. This technique has us experimenting with the pace of our movement throughout a space, then changing our levels, followed by changing the directions of our movements. We then take it a step further by taking these movements and getting ideas from other people, acting as their followers, each to different leaders. This activity tends to end up with our entire group performing one singular movement without a clear leader. This is a practice game named Flock of Birds, created by practitioner Jack Lecoq. This aided me in creating my initial physicality for Sparky. His pace would be slow, and he'd be on a lower level to the other characters in both status and physical space, sometimes quite literally, as a considerable period of time I play the character has him either sat or laid on the floor, showing a physical and emotional weakness to him through the small amount of physical space he takes up. Though, when he is stood to walk on his own 2 feet, I gave Sparky a little slouch in his back, and a tendency to fidget with his hands to reduce my physical size, appear much less confident, and to ultimately further display his lack of status amongst the characters within the world of the play. As an example of more diverse choices, we have the opening of the play. It begins with Sparky and Raymondo running from their mother before being tossed into the bottom of the cellar. This gives us a good look at how I use my physicality to show character, as it starts with Sparky running around the space, where I chose to let my arms go limp and loose, an action often associated with small children playing, as they don't quite understand what to do with their arms whilst they run. However, for Sparky, he is running with a sense of primal fear and great dread. His arms are slack due to his age and his physical weaknesses. Sparky has very few lines within the play, so his relationship with Raymondo is mostly communicated through his physicality, such as when they share common viewpoints by huddling close to the endowed windows to watch the passing commuters, and when they work together to make the Cape of OK. I found the use of levels particularly meaningful in this scene. The close physical connection to the pair shows their brotherly love for one another. However, the levels between the pair also show their differences in status. Raymondo stands tall over Sparky as he makes the cape, physically showing that he is the more capable and proactive of the two brothers, where Sparky is weaker and therefore positioned lower. He's aiding Raymondo in smaller, supportive, and reactive ways, opposed to taking his own directions and his own actions. Throughout the play, the role of the ensemble is to tell the story of Raymondo and Sparky. They embody the brothers' feelings, their ideas, their hopes, and sometimes even their literal environment. Although Raymondo and Sparky cannot literally see the ensemble, they are always linked to them. A significant challenge in this instance, then, for the play itself is interacting with the ensemble whilst keeping the reality of the character alive. I couldn't directly address them, but my own movements would be influenced by them as their movements would be influenced by my own. To warm up for this task, we had the ensemble follow Sparky and Raymondo in simple movements, following on from our flock of birds exercise. This helped me to build up a physical awareness of the space around me and those that were inhabiting it close behind me. I also used this as an opportunity to explore how close and how fast Sparky would follow his brother Raymondo, further strengthening my internal characterization through some simple movements by playing around with Sparky following his brother. This focus came into practical effect in various sections of the play, though I'd like to focus on Scene 5 as a specific example. Here the ensemble anchor their movements around me to create the abstract image of Sparky coughing up blood as I literally perform the action. It uses movement in two ways, one natural and one imaginative, to show the image of Sparky's deteriorating health without it being directly stated in the text to the audience at this time. This also aids in showing my relationship with the ensemble. Although their forms may be different, they are always trusted allies that tell my story and can be kept close to me in a physical proximity with security. They are close to me because they are me. From my hopes to my fears, the ensemble was something I had to treat with great confidence, both in terms of character relationships and as my own personal faith in my peers to effectively manage such an important role around my character. Movement was an essential part of our performance of Raymondo. The text was adapted heavily, as it wasn't written to be staged in a standard format. The entire play was initially written as a single, spoken monologue, and to turn this into a production with characters and an ensemble took a lot of effort and creative choices in rehearsals from all actors involved with the company. However, despite some challenges faced, I believe everyone was successful in their works. The ensemble relationship between the actors and the audience, and how I formed a relationship to the ensemble and to the audience through my physical language, I believe successfully conveys the world we wish to create using the text. This now concludes my vlog. Thank you for watching and listening, and goodbye.